Welcome back. This is stop number 2 on the WSL Championship Tour, the drug-aware Margaret River Pro. And we're on the lookout for another quarterfinalist here in the second heat of round 3. Tyler Wright won this contest last year. She had a great performance in round 1, but she is up against Malia Manuel, who is staking her claim for a spot at the top end of the ratings, along with Sage Erickson, who is coming off the back of her greatest ever finish at the Championship Tour level. Ronnie Blakey here with Pete Mel to call the action for you, and we're going to see Malia get things started. A good size set wave, one of the biggest of the day. And she just lets go of a nice couple of forehand arcs to get started. Surfing with a great amount of speed and plenty of spark as she comes through to the inside. Very committed on that end section. I like it.
That is committed.
Courageous.
She's up directly onto the reef. Watch out, girl's gonna go dry right here. Well, Matt Bayless is like, yeah. Well, she got over the reef. Good for her. Coming off of watching a heat, and all of a sudden you see a bit more speed carry. I mean, look how much drive she has around that first maneuver. Again, quickly transitioning out of that. One more time, again, directing that board. Another clean hack, and then no shame. She's going to go for another turn right on top of the reef. Luckily, the water was enough surging going on there that got her over the top of it. She didn't lose any fins.
I was lucky she didn't get out in front of it. She could go left. Just depends. On the inside at the moment, though, with those two surfers out the back, hustling, we're going to see Malia just pick off an insider and get a backup score on the board. Bringing it through to the inside now, kicking that tail. It just kind of sloped her down into the trough, though, and she couldn't ride out.
It was up first, but it's like, no, but the other guy was dead smack in the middle of the peak, so he chose to go right, and you're on the wrong side of it.
Positioning is everything, and Sage Erickson, she gets this ride with good positioning out there on that peak. Let's see if she can dig into some big turns on the inside. A bit of bump to deal with there, but she recovers pretty well. Let's go of a nice turn to finish this wave off. 24.5 minutes to go.
Get to take a look here at the replay. Actually, we got live action here, Ronnie.
Yeah, Tyler's up on her first wave, and she doesn't really like it much. That wave just didn't stand up that well. Sage got herself a 5.17. Let's have a look at the replay.
I think she milked most of the scoring potential really out of this wave, you know, because it did shoulder off fairly quickly. You know, she was able to hold some speed through that flatter section and then sets up this final move, and then she commits to it. You know, even with the rocks coming up, the dry reef, she commits to that final move. Kind of a nice impactful turn.
Well, on the inside now, Sage Erickson having a look at this one. The 26-year-old in her 5th year on the Championship Tour. A couple of solid turns. Coming into this heat off the back of a solid round 2 effort.
Wow.
And she's clicking with that end section pretty well at the moment. Great timing. Malia up too. A bit of foam on the face. No dramas for the Hawaiian. Throws up a nice fan there. I'll get you an update in just a moment. Might have to get a slow-mo of that dolphin jump as we see Tyler Wright up. She hasn't really kind of clicked with a decent wave in this heat just yet, but a smart competitor, well aware that her rivals are yet to post excellent scores, so just chips away at this one, looking to put up some kind of score that might give her an opportunity to potentially go into the excellent range.
Yeah, it was a good one. You can see nice, strong first turn. You know, and that shows that importance of that first initial move, and then here too, connecting, kicks out. They're carrying a ton of speed through these moves too. You can see we're really planting that back foot. I think the judge is really liking that top to bottom surfing right off that first initial takeoff. It's important.
Then it hits some pretty nice oncoming sections on the inside too, Sage Erickson. But Malia's throwing up huge fans of spray with that more vertical approach. And as a result, going a little bit higher with her scores. Here goes Tyler now on her best looking ride yet. Nice section here. and a well-timed floater, and just bashes the end of this ride.
Well, I think we're going to see the best wave of the heat.
All part of it.
I love it.
That rock's going to be checking itself for sores.
That's right. She hasn't found anything but buckle
that
her
was
knees.
a beautiful turn. A nice steep section. She needs a big finish.
Wow.
Stepping things up against the world champ is Malia Manuel. She already had an 8, and she's about to put another solid score up. So a great exchange here by the highest-seeded surfers. Sally Fitzgibbons is holding the highest single ride of this contest at the moment, an 8.83, but Tyler's going to put something solid up. And have a look at this move.
There, that was huge. And that outside carve was good too. And then the finish. So 3 solid turns, and this is that nice steep section. This is the best turn of the wave. It really lays into it. Right in the steepest part of the wave, compresses, throws water out the back, releases back out and extends the legs so she can carry the speed into this next section, and again compresses off the lip, gets really low to the board. Again, all of that does is absorbs the power and keeps the board moving in that direction.
Beautiful surfing, and just as we suspected, the 2 best waves of the event so far dropping here in the second heat of round 3. Here's the replay of Tyler's ride. This one came through at a 9.57.
Well, that straight up vertical hit, have yet to see that. The float was able to shifty the board on the lip. Again, a little point of difference, and the clean execution carried a ton of speed through all those moves. The sections were steep, they were powerful, and she laid into it. But I love what Malia was able to do on the wave behind. What a heat, action-packed.
Tyler just checking herself there at elbows, but have a look at the commitment here.
And just everything into that last section, knowing that the reef is right there too.
Celebrating her 23rd birthday in style, a 9.57 for Tyler Wright, but she's not in the lead because Malia responded so well. Lakey Peterson, they're applying more pressure to their turns these days because they want to start pushing the heavy-footed title contenders. And here we go. Oh, Tyler up once again. A lot of wind and bump on the face.
Felt pretty good. I think there's still a little bit of room on the forehand and surfing the rights, but the lefts felt pretty good. There's one where off the takeoff I kind of hit a chop and messed up my footing a little bit, but it didn't really affect me too much. And
Malia's got priority. Tyler's having a look at this one. Malia's going to let her have it. Sage had a look, but Tyler, with second priority, was able to keep her off, and a massive opening turn. Plenty of power. There's that release in the tail we were talking about. So 2 moves and looking for more on the inside. Committing to this rocky section, and she bashes at the lip, just gets off her board in time to avoid that dry reef. But what about that first turn, the power?
Maybe a 6, maybe a 6.5. It just didn't look like it was going to have the wall. And then sure enough, there's that steep section, and she lays into it just all the way around. And 2 in a row, that time gets the release, flattens the board out, drifts, so showing a point of difference. You know, 2 similar types of sections where she was able to mix up the moves, get a little loose.
And the danger was always going to be there for Malia, but she looked down the line and went, I don't even think Tyler can turn this into a 7.43. She was wrong. I think this was a huge start to this ride.
But look at that, just so much water displaced. You know, executing that turn with that full 360 turn, like all the way back, getting that nose pointing, and then backs it up with another one. Very powerful, and then releases it just to show a point of difference.
So in my opinion, I think we're going to be looking at the highest heat score total of the event in just a moment.
She milked every ounce of scoring potential in this wave. I mean, it's nice and steep. The section did stand up for her, but look at that power she carries. And the combination of major moves, that's that part of the criteria the judges love to see here. Especially, I mean, that was what Richie Porta said day 1. You want to see the combination. And as we'll take a look at the slow-mo. But the technique is that she's always been a back-footed surfer, right? She that's what gives her a lot of her power. You know, when she has these big sections like this just gives her the opportunity to put everything into it. And you see all that pressure on the back foot. She's extending that front leg and then compresses. And she does all of that move up in that top third of the wave, which again is the critical section. But she's able to hold all that speed. When you do the move way up high like that, it gives you that opportunity to build up speed off the bottom turn again and carry all of that speed into the next move. This wave flattens out right here, so that was kind of nice to add a little extra flair, because she was holding it in that steeper section, but it was going to flatten out, so she actually compresses and flattens out and gets that fin chuck. We've seen this from Malia a lot, where she has really good heats, but then just that one surfer just does a little bit better.
Here she goes, chasing that big score. First turn, very solid, compresses. If she gets some more steep sections to work with, she'll be on her way, but this wave's starting to flatten out now. A bit of foam on the face. She's going to give it everything. Just angling her way along that shallow reef section. 30 seconds to go.
Look at it as a positive. Don't need to change anything. Just go out and do it again. She gets that 17 points. She's going to move into the quarters.
Guaranteed there will be winners in this third round that don't put together a heat score total of 17 and progress through to the quarters. So Malia should carry some confidence into that fourth round as we see Tyler Wright making her way in with the best performance of the Drug Aware Margaret River Pro on the women's side so far.